Hi, fun recap here. Today, I'd be explaining an interesting Nigerian movie titled What Happened to Keira? Have fun watching. The movie begins with a scene where students gather around the dead body of one of their colleagues. A student who later appeared at the spot the person fell from was immediately spotted by another student and accused for pushing her down. Her name was Lucy. She was arrested for the murder of Keira. So her mother went to ask her if she was sure she didn't do it, and she told her mother she didn't do it and knew nothing about Keira's death, and her mom believed her. Her mother later tried explaining to the officer involved in her daughter's case that her daughter was innocent, but he wouldn't agree because they found a knife in her daughter's bag the day Keira died, and also her daughter had threatened Keira before, and the next day she died. Apparently, Keira has been bullying Lucy for so many years in school, so that day Lucy had had enough and went threatening her. She wanted to beat her, but one of the teachers wouldn't allow her, so she threatened her instead and left, after which Keira died the next day. Keira's younger sister had just returned from boarding school to the news. Her mother had to tell her everything that has been going on, and also with her sister, which made her very sad that her only sister was arrested for murdering someone. And for her, she knew very well that her sister wouldn't be able to do a thing like that. They tried their best to explain things to the officers involved in Lucy's case so they could free her, but to no avail, and wouldn't even be allowed to see their daughter because Keira's parents were very influential and the officers themselves didn't want to lose their job. When they went home, Lucy's younger sister, whose name was Arule, then decided with her mom that she would attend Keira's school as a student so she could find out who was responsible for Keira's death and free her sister. When she started schooling, she made a friend with one of her colleagues who told her everything she needed to know about the happenings in the school. Keira was the head of the clique in their school, and a girl called Trisha was her best friend. But before she died, she had an argument with Trisha, even though no one knows what the argument was about. After Keira's death, Trisha becomes the head of the girls' clique, which was strange. They also saw a girl called Nelly, and she told Aule that Nelly was Lucy's best friend before she was accused, and ever since she was sent to prison, she has become very low. Aule's friend also gave to one of the cleaners in their school who was very nice to her, which makes her very happy. Aule later finds her way into their clique since she thought all the information she needed was there and she needed to be friends with them to be able to find out who was the real murderer of Keira. Trisha asked her to slap her best friend to show her loyalty, which she did without hesitation and was thereby allowed into the clique. Even though Trisha liked her, one of the girls who was known as Julie disliked her and asked Trisha to remove her from their clique. She also knew a dirty secret about Trisha she will use against her if she doesn't remove her and also give her a spot as the queen of the clique. She found a note in her bag telling about her real identity as Lucy's sister. Trisha later removed Aule from the clique as Julie requested and stepped down as queen and gave her position to Julie. Aule later explained things to her friend about her real identity and why she had come to the school in the first place. Julie later removes Trisha from the clique completely and even tells her secret to one of their friends, which made her very sad and heartbroken. Aule finds Trisha crying and asks her what the matter was, and she tells her everything. Apparently, Keira used to be her best friend, but she tells her one of her very deep secrets which was worrying her, that she was living with her auntie and her auntie's husband used to abuse her sexually. So she tells her friend about it because she trusted her and pleaded with her not to tell anybody. But the next day she realized her friend had told her boyfriend whom she really loved in the school, which got her really angry and disappointed in her, and that was the cause of their fights, after which they became enemies. But she didn't really have anything to do with Trisha's death. And now Julie was using that secret against her, and she was scared it will come out for her auntie to find out, and then the school authority were going to know about it. But Aule encourages her to tell the truth to her auntie and see what comes out of it, and she agrees to do that. The next day, she happily tells Aule that she told her auntie and her auntie understood her and everything was now solved, and was very grateful for her advice. So if she needed anything, she can ask her, which made Aule very happy. She later asks about the note she saw in her bag, and Trisha tells her that it was Julie who kept it there. Awule discussed her findings with her friend and tells her that even though she thought Trisha was the one who killed Keira, she has now realized she was innocent. And the friend suggested they go see the cleaner because she also had an idea of people who went to see Keira at her spot the day she died. When they went to see her, she told them that she saw the dark girl who is also part of their clique leaving Keira's spot, and not long after that she saw Prince, who was Trisha's boyfriend, also going up there. But then she can't really tell which of them killed her because she didn't really know what they went to do there. She only saw them going and coming. Awule later went to see the dark girl and asked her what she was doing at Keira's spot the day she died, and she told her she only went to ask her that she wanted to leave their clique, that she wasn't interested. She asked her why she joined in the first place, and she told Awule that Keira had her secret, that she does drugs, and Keira knew about it and wanted to use that against her. And since she didn't want to be expelled from the school, she had no choice than to join the clique, but she was doing things against her will. Keira even asked her one time to destroy Lucy's books, which she wasn't comfortable with. That's why she went to see her to ask her out of the clique. And she only threatened her to delete the video she had of her doing drugs, but they didn't push her down, that she wasn't responsible for her death and didn't know anything about it. She later found out that news of her being Lucy's sister had spread throughout the school and everyone knew her real identity. She later went to confront Julie about it because she thought she was the one who kept the note in her bag, but Julie tells her she didn't know anything about it. The guy later approached Awule and told her that since he now knew she was Lucy's sister, he wanted to tell her something, that he knows who pushed Keira down and wanted to tell her, but then realized so many people were watching him at the time, which made him panic, and he ran off, telling her she would tell her the next day at school. That night, Awule tells her mom she was really close to catching Keira's killer, that tomorrow a guy will tell her who the person was, and once she found out, they will report everything to the police and her sister will be set free. The next day at school, Awule found out that the guy who was going to give her the name of the killer was attacked by robbers the previous night and killed. She cried her eyes out because she was so close to finding out who the murderer was, but then realized Keira's killer was the same person who had killed the innocent boy because he was going to expose her the next day. She went to report the issue to one of their teachers, but she only told her that Keira's case was passed and that she should forget about it, and was adamant to take any action towards it. The teacher then remembered that the day Keira died, she also went to see her at her spot together with Prince because she was having an affair with Prince, which Keira was aware of. Trisha receives a birthday present Keira left for her before she died. She finds a note in it and decides to read. The content of the letter stated Keira's apology to her for betraying her. Then she did it because she found out that her boyfriend Prince was having an affair with their teacher, and when she confronted him about it, he told her that he wasn't really interested in Trisha and that he only dated her because it was a betting he made with his friends, which made her feel very bad. She asked him to break up with Trisha, but then they didn't know the best way to do that. That day, when she found out that Trisha has such a secret, she decided to tell Prince so that Prince would use that as a medium to break up with her. She knew that her friend would feel bad for betraying her, but then she preferred Trisha being angry with her than the pain she would go through trying to get over a heartbreak from Prince. After finding out the truth and the reason behind Keira's action, she couldn't stop herself from crying. She went to Keira's spot and sat there alone, continued crying when Awule approached her and asked her what the problem was. She told her everything and how she attacked Keira at that same spot, and told her she regretted her actions because she had now realized her friend was a good person and just trying to help her. Awule consoles and they both decide to work together to find out who Keira's killer is. They found something which belonged to Julie on the floor and thought Julie could be the killer because she obviously left it there the day Keira died. They confronted Julie about it and she tells them she only went there to ask Keira to make her queen with her or the leader of their clique. But Keira refused because she knew secrets about her and thereby had no other option than to follow her lead. Keira knew that she was from a poor home and she lied about her background, that she was from a rich home, but actually her father was a gate man and it was her father's boss who was paying her fees. And because she didn't want anybody to know that, she had no choice than to submit to Keira's request. But then she wasn't responsible for Keira's death. Keira was that kind of student who knew almost everybody's secrets in the school and used them against them when they refused to do things her way. Treasure tells Awule that Lucy's friend Nellie was with her during Keira's murder, but when the police asked her, she lied that Lucy wasn't with her. That maybe if she had told the truth that she was with Lucy, her sister would be walking freely by now. So they both decided to go confront Nellie. Nellie told them she didn't tell the police anything because she was a lesbian and was making advances at Lucy that day, and was scared that if she had told the police they were together, they would have found out she was a lesbian. And since she was a pastor's child, she didn't know how she was going to handle that situation and didn't want to ruin their reputation. That's why she lied. They suspected Prince and the teacher also because Keira knew about their affair and they thought they might kill her because they didn't want anybody to know, for the teacher to lose her job and for Prince to be expelled. But Awule later overhears them having a conversation and realized they had nothing to do with Keira's death. That day when she got home, she told her mom she was sorry for failing her because she tried everything possible but still couldn't catch Keira's killer. Her mom tells her it was okay, that she wasn't even supposed to do that in the first place. The next day, her mother went to see her to apologize for everything, and she saw her friend's name marked in the register on the day Keira died. And remember, she had told her earlier she wasn't in school that day. But the teacher tells her her name was marked because she was present that day, and she wondered why she would lie to her in the first place and decided to go find out the truth. She went to ask the cleaner about the people she saw leaving Keira's spot that day again, and the cleaner tells her that her friend was also there. After Keira died, she saw her there and even had a conversation with her. But that day that her friend brought her to tell her those she saw, she told her not to tell her she was there too because she has already told her herself. But she didn't know she didn't tell her, maybe she forgot. Later that day, they found out she had committed suicide. Awule later received a letter she left for her. In the letter, she tells her she was the one responsible for Keira's death, that Keira had once killed her sister, but her family couldn't do anything about it or punish her because Keira's family had influence than them. So she had been studying Keira for years till that day when she had the opportunity to take her revenge, and she pushed her down. That she was scared at first, but after seeing everything Awule has been doing to save her sister, she couldn't sit back anymore. And not after killing an innocent boy who wanted to say the truth. In addition, she realized she was becoming a monster, so she just decided to take her life and tell the truth instead. After the truth was revealed, Lucy was set free. She thanked her sister for not giving up on her and everything she did for her to help clear her name. But Awule was just happy to have her sister back with her. What happened to Keira? The end. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos like this. See you on the next episode.